Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the match between FC Barcelona versus Espanyol. This will be Barcelona's first match of the year and Barcelona will be playing away from home. Also keep in mind that the next time Barcelona play at their own home is not going to be until January 25th against Real Oviedo. We have 4 matches that Barcelona have to play before they get to that point. It is going to be against Espanyol and then Athletic Club for the Supercopa, and then we have Real Sociedad away from home and then Slavia Prague away from home. So there is a lot of work to do, but the way that I do want to start this video is by bringing up the conversation of Barcelona signing a brand new center back, because not only are we feeling it, but Hansi Flick is feeling it as well, and he has made a big call and he has put pressure to the board members of FC Barcelona by stating something big to the media. And Hansi Flick did state that Barcelona should look for a brand new center back. He stated this, and I quote, "When you look at the back line with center backs and fullbacks, we need one more player." And that is the first time I have heard Hansi Flick say something like this, because usually he just says, "I'm fine with my players, we're gonna be okay," always defending the players that he has. But this time is different. I think that this time, because of the situation with Andreas Christensen and the uncertainty of Ronald Araujo, Flick is feeling the pressure. He knows that he is gonna need an extra center back to really finish strong in this season. You also have to take into account that we're using Gerard Maldini as a left center back, a player who was supposed to be playing on the left back position. So Hansi Flick has been trying to look for solutions in the meantime while Barcelona go out there and look for a brand new center back. Yes, it is a serious issue. So let's talk about this situation before we talk about the match between Barcelona and Espanyol, because Barcelona do have exactly 1 week until Friday, January 9th, to submit a medical report to La Liga regarding Andreas Christensen. Christensen did suffer a partial ACL rupture in his left knee in late December, which means that he is expected to be out for more than 4 months, which does meet La Liga's criteria. If approved, Barcelona can use 80% of his salary to register a replacement, and once that's validated, Barcelona would have 20 days from that day to complete any form of registration for a brand new player. So remember, Barcelona will only activate this mechanism, right, this strategy with La Liga, if a suitable defender appears on the market who fits sportingly and financially. And Flick told the media that he wants a defender who can contribute immediately and not bring a player that's going to need some time to develop. No, he needs an immediate impact. So who could those players be? And let's talk about what we have heard over the past 4 to 5 days. So this is going to be the criteria that Barcelona are looking for when it comes to a brand new center back. They prefer a center back that is left-footed to slot in next to Kubarsi. He needs to be a center back that can also be comfortable in the build-up, have strong aerial presence, and reliable with a low-risk profile. So enter Stefan de Vrij. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I probably did mess up on that name, but just go with me here. He is a player whose contract does run out until 2026. Inter reportedly are open to a winter exit for him at the age of 33 years old. Yes, he is a proven leader with a lot of Champions League experience. The reason why he fits is because he has great immediate organization, a calm presence, and a short-term fix while Christensen does recover. So this is a center back that has been linked to Barcelona. He has the experience and he has the stability. So the integration is going to be very smooth and very fast. Now let's talk about the next center back that has been linked to Barcelona, and that is Marcos Senesi, who is a mid-term solution, but he is a ball-playing center back, a player whose contract does not end until the summer of 2026, and Bournemouth would like to sell him now in January instead of losing him for free in the summer. So not only are we talking about a center back who can provide us good coverage in the short term, like for the next 5 to 6 months, but also beyond this season if he does excel. We'll see if Joan Laporte and Deco would be willing to buy one of these players for a low compensation. I don't know how they think about this whole January transfer window situation. Like, do they want to spend money? Do they just want to bring in free players? Or are they willing to make some sort of sacrifice and maybe spend 4 to 6 million euros for a transfer fee? We'll see. And then lastly, we have Mika Mármol, who does play for Las Palmas. He is a La Masia graduate. His contract does not expire until the summer of 2026. Barcelona actually retained the economic rights for the player, so he's a cheap option, culturally aligned, obviously, right? A player that has grew with Barcelona and the rest of the players. It would be a smooth adaptation, and he's very well known for his profile. Everybody knows exactly who he is, how he does play. This is probably the signing that would take the least risk. I know many people are going to be questioning, but Kevin, you said that we were linked to Bastoni and Nico Schlotterbeck. What happened to those 2 players? Remember, we're only talking about players right now that could be feasible for the January transfer window. Players like Bastoni and Schlotterbeck cannot happen until the summer. That is a whole other separate conversation. And the plan is still there in terms of really signing a long-term replacement in the defensive line. Bastoni is the primary target. He's left-footed, has elite ball progression. He's one of Europe's top center backs. Mateo Moreto has also claimed that for Bastoni, Barcelona have entered the race. There is no negotiations yet, and his expected price is going to be at 70 to 80 million euros. Bastoni is negotiating a renewal, but as of right now, he is still open to other conversations. And so we'll see what happens happens in the near future. The fact that we have a conversation here of spending 70 to 80 million euros, this is not going to happen for the January transfer window. So with that being said, I also want to quickly answer the question about João Cancelo, because yes, it's real that João Cancelo wants to return to FC Barcelona, but as of right now, Barcelona have ruled out a January move for now because his salary is around 50 million euros net per year. That is a lot of money. Al Hilal are willing to cover some of the wages for Cancelo to move away and go to Barcelona, but Barcelona still say that is still too high. We want to spend like maybe 1 to 3 million euros for Cancelo in terms of his wages. The only way I can see Cancelo coming to Barcelona is by Cancelo terminating his contract with Al Hilal and Barcelona bringing him in for free and for a low salary. That is the only way. And we also have to keep in mind that Cancelo is not the main priority. Cancelo is willing to wait, and he's willing to wait for Barcelona to make a move because that is where he does want to go. However, Cancelo's going to have to meet us halfway, and Barcelona have to do their job to make sure that we sign a center back reinforcement first. That is the #1 priority, and then we can think about having conversations with Cancelo and his contract situation with Al Hilal. But I will say that there is a 10 to 15% chance that Barcelona sign Cancelo for now. We'll see how things do evolve because we're still very early in the winter transfer window. Now, let's talk about the match between Barcelona and Espanyol, because this is a derby that is going to be insane. I expect a very hostile environment. Keep in mind that Barcelona have relegated Espanyol before under Xavi Hernandez. Espanyol do hate us so much, and I'm pretty sure that they hate João Garcia as well. But it is going to be a big game. Barcelona currently sit in first place with 46 points and 4 points clear of Real Madrid. Espanyol are in 5th place, so they have been doing very decent. It is their best start to the season since the 2004-2005 season. Espanyol's form has been amazing. 5 straight league wins and a strong home record with 6 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses so far. Barcelona's form has also been spectacular with 7 straight wins in all competitions. They have the best attack in La Liga with a total of 51 goals so far. There is only the defensive concern. That is it. We have conceded 20 goals, which is the most among the top 7 in La Liga. So we do have to be very careful. I don't expect Barcelona to take it easy on Espanyol. Espanyol will come in with a lot of firepower, and I believe that Barcelona will bring out their best players. Hansi Flick will do his job correctly. Araujo is back. We'll see if he starts or not. I doubt it. We'll talk about the starting 11 in just a few seconds. Pedri has returned. He's fine. Everything is going to be okay. As for Dani Olmo is still kind of, I would just say, very 50-50. He could be in the squad list. He could not, but he's still dealing with the shoulder injury. For sure, the only 2 players that are out right now, it is Andreas Christensen with his knee injury and Gavi also with his knee injury. So to finalize this whole preview, this is what I believe Barcelona are going to be displaying tomorrow night. I expect João Garcia to be in the goalkeeper position, and I hope that he has a masterclass performance in front of the Espanyol fans. With Jules Koundé on the right back position, Cubarsí, Eric Garcia at the back, and Alejandro Balde on the left back position. Many are going to be asking, where's Gerard Martin? Gerard Martin will be there. I believe that he will play, but I think that for a game like this where Espanyol do like to press, we need to have good center backs that is able to distribute the ball under great pressure, and Eric Garcia and Cubarsí know how to combat against that. As for the defensive midfielders, I expect to see Pedri and Frenkie de Jong, with our attack being Lamine Yamal on the right wing, Rafinha on the left wing, Fermín López as the number 10, and Ferran Torres as our number 9. Yes, you guys heard that correctly. I expect to see Ferran Torres over Lewandowski yet again because Ferran Torres has been in phenomenal form. With 22 matches played so far, 13 goals and 1 assist. In La Liga, he has had 17 matches played, 11 goals and 1 assist, so he has been bossing the league so far, and I expect nothing different as we go into this match against Espanyol. That is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.